So today we are mainly going to see the installation part of Ansible. Okay, how we can implement Ansible in your AWS instance by using we can use any kind of flavor of Linux. So here I am going to use mostly you can say three instances. Okay, so these instances will be T2 medium. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Okay, and you can take either Ubuntu or CentOS. Ubuntu or Red Hat Linux. Okay, any Linux it could be. Okay, so today we are mainly going to see the installation of Ansible on CentOS or Ubuntu. Any flavor you can use it. Okay, CentOS flavor. Okay, but but here you need to use three instances. Okay, guys. One, I am going to use it for the controller. Okay, one instance it could be your database, and second instance it will be your web server. Okay, so you can use Ubuntu or EC2 user. EC2 user is mainly we use it in RHEL or Amazon machine image. Okay, fine. Manoranjan, Samba.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's launch the instances. So let me show you the architecture once again, so you'll better understand this one. So guys, why I said three instances? Okay, the reason is, first, the one instance is for your controller, right? So under controller you have your inventory, correct guys? You have your playbooks and you have your modules will be there, right? So for that, for Ansible server you need one machine, right? And the second, the two other machine, I am taking it here as a one machine. I am going to use it for your database, and second machine I am going to use it for the web server. Getting my point, guys? So web server means ultimately those two machines are going to act as a agent. Okay, so those two machine is going to act as a agent for this controller. Okay, so where we need to deploy, right? If suppose if you want to start a service or stop a service or a database, for a database, so you need a agent, database agent, right, for that one. So for that purpose I am creating two instances, okay, to show you the real-time implementation of Ansible. Okay, so let's come here, click here. So here you can take
Ubuntu.
no, not Ubuntu, will take it EC2. EC2 is mainly for Amazon machine image, or let me check
Okay.
Red Hat is there or not. This time we'll try with Red Hat, guys. Correct? All the time
Yeah.
we were taking Ubuntu only.
Okay. We take that.
This one is free tier, right? Okay, fine. Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8 it is. Okay. So 64-bit 86. And Amazon machine image. AMI. Mm, Both are free tier. This one is Linux. This is your 2. Okay, this is almost like Red Hat Linux only. Amazon machine image. Okay, because for this we can use EC2 user. Okay, and other thing is what you need to do here is you need to take T2 medium. Okay, just take it as a T2 medium. Okay, so this is chargeable, guys, again I am telling. Okay, and just click on configure instances. Instead of one you use three. Okay, Just enable it. Okay. Next is your storage. Next is your tag. That is fine. We'll do it later on. And yeah. So create a new security group. Okay. Select an existing. Fine. We'll create a new security group for this one. So rule base, I don't think so we required, but as of now I'm taking it as a, if we need to access it from outside public IP, so this is why I'm allowing all the traffic. Okay. So guys, remember Manranjan, if you remember, we were facing issue while joining the Docker nodes, right? Docker Swarm when we were forming the cluster, right? So
Yes.
because of that, the nodes are not joining. It's throwing error. The reason is because of this only. Because we were using public IP, right? So we should allow, right, traffic. Then only one node is gets joined to the other one. Because we were not in the private network. We doesn't have our own VPC, correct?
Hmm.
So this was the issue we were facing Samba last time. Okay. So you should allow this one. Okay, later on you can block it according to your requirement. What was that, Singapore, or it
Yeah.
is only
That one.
Singapore,
That
right?
one. Yeah.
Okay, fine guys. So we are going to name the first instance as your controller. Okay, this is going to be your master server, and second one is going to be your database. Okay, this will act as an agent where we'll see if you have to deploy Tomcat server or any application, or if you want to start something or stop something, or if you want to install some packages, we can do it on this database server. Okay, and the third one is your web server. So you can create here multiple servers. You can create a production server, you can create a pre-prod, you can create a staging server, like that. Okay guys, so
Hmm.
instead of database you can give a production server or pre-prod, or instead of web server you can give staging server. It's all up to you. Okay, so as much as means agent you can create, and you can try it out with different options. Okay, fine guys. So here, okay, your controller. Okay, so your controller is up and running. Okay guys, so let's connect to the controller first. So here we are going to use MOBA extern. Where is MOBA extern? Okay, so you have your MOBA extern here. Fine, just connect to the session. So here for Ubuntu the user is Ubuntu, but in case of Amazon machine image the user is the EC2
EC2.
hyphen user. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, just clear it. So I'm going to rename this one as a controller. Okay guys,
Yeah.
it's disconnecting. It seems some DNS issue. Hmm. Okay, just try to ping www.google.com, so it won't. Okay, and the next one is your database. Okay, so your database IP will be copy this one. EC2 user. Okay. So rename it and mention it as a database. Okay. And the next one is your web server, right?
Yeah.
So take this one. Okay, fine. Yes, no issues. Rename this one as your web server. Okay,
Yeah.
fine, guys. So fine. So what I'm going to do here is, so this is your controller, right, guys? So your controller is going to control everything, right? That's what the concept is in Ansible. So your controller is having all the files, like your inventory. Under inventory you have your database IP, your web server IP, and your production IP. Then only you are going to communicate with these agents, right, guys? So to install this Ansible in this controller, okay, what we need to do is we need to install first of all Python. Okay, guys, there are some prerequisites will be there. If you are if you have to configure your controller server, okay, then you need to be required a Python. That is the minimum requirement. Okay, and you need to do it for all the no, not for all the three machines, just only for this controller. Those are the agents. Okay, for those servers you doesn't need to be installed, correct? Those are going to communicate via SSH, correct?
Yeah.
And second thing is your Ansible we need to install, right, guys? Okay. Okay, so guys, before going to do any installation, whether it's a Docker, Ansible, or any, or you if you are using any platform or any Linux OS, then first thing what we need to do is we need to update the repository. So in EC2 is nothing but this is a Red Hat Linux only. It's almost a similar Amazon machine image. So here what we are going to do is yum, okay, and because we already logged in as a root, so no need to do sudo. Okay, yum update, and then guys, any idea if you remember?
No.
Samba, you worked in Linux?
Yes, m update -y.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's going to update your entire repository. Okay, guys.
Yes.
So Ansible installation is very easy. There is no so much of certificates you need to install, or you need to download any repository, or like Docker Hub, or like GitHub, right? Or even Kubernetes. So it's very straightforward and simple. If somebody will ask you, you can answer also. Okay.
Hmm.
So you just need to update the repository, and then you need to install the Python pip, means your Python, right? That we need to install.
Okay.
Okay. So second thing what you need to install is yum install Python. See, let me say no. Yum install Python pip, not below. Okay, guys. So it is pip and -y. Okay, so it's installed, your Python pip is installed. Now what next you need to install, that is very much important, that is going to be your Ansible. Okay, yum install Ansible. Okay, Ansible. Okay, so guys, one more thing, when you are getting this message, okay, that some http aws something will be there, right? It's coming as a
Mm.
to run sudo amazon, so you need to run this first, okay, before installing Ansible. Okay, so you need to install, if you are getting this error message, so nothing to do, you need to install the same package first. Okay,
Mhm.
understand my point, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, now try yum. What happened to the IP? Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
Abhishek.
guys, it seems it got disconnected in between. I'm not sure why. Okay, so again, let me restart this one. Might be network glitch or something like that. Okay, so sudo hyphen y. Okay, guys, so you can see, if I do history, correct, till now I have installed till here, right? That's what I have done, guys, right? So before installing, if you try to
Yeah.
install Ansible, it throws an error. So that error, in that error we got this package and you need to install this package, right? Now you can go ahead and you can install Ansible. Okay, okay, so nothing to do. The reason is because if you go ahead with this thing, so your Ansible is already installed. You are getting my point, guys? Understanding? Guys, are you able to understand me? Manranjan,
Yes, yes, Abhishek.
Samba.
Yeah.
Okay, and how you
Yeah.
can recognize that your Ansible is installed or not? Okay, so same way like what we have done for Docker, what we have done for Git, and what we have done for any other DevOps tool, you need to type Ansible, okay, and hyphen hyphen version, correct? So you can clearly see that it's giving you the version of Ansible, that is 2.8.5, right? And its configuration path is config file is /etc ansible ansible.cfg. That's what, right, guys?
CFG.
Correct. So
Yeah.
its version, what we are the version, if somebody is asking you what version of Ansible you have used, so you can tell him straight away 2.8.5. Okay, now the next thing is,
Yeah.
okay, so as I told you, okay, you need a public and private key. Why you need a public and private key, guys? Because that public key you need to deploy to all its agent, then only the controller is going to communicate with these agents via SSH, correct? So today we are going to create that public and private key. Okay, correct, guys? That's what we need to do.
So through public and a private key, that agent is communicating, right?
Yeah, that's what SSH. Actually, it's communicating through SSH. But how
Mm.
SSH will work, right? The working principle of SSH is through this public and private key only, right? Authorized key, if you guys have
Yeah.
gone through, right? Samba.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it.
Yes, yes, Abhishek.
Okay. So, guys, here I am going to generate okay, some public and private key. So but don't be as a root. Okay, so just come out from this root. Okay, just check that where you are exactly. So you are under home EC2 user. Okay, and just generate. You know how to generate. SSH keygen is the command, correct guys? SSH keygen.
Python key.
Okay, star slash SSH. No, one second. Only SSH keygen. Okay, so just enter it. Okay, it's not working. Sudo.
No, key gen.
Keygen.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, so it's asking me enter the file in which you want to save this one. Okay, so I'm going with the default location. Enter the passphrase means, do you want to put any passwordless authentic? You know, right? In Linux, we have either you can set it as a password less authentication or password with password, right? Both we can set it up, correct? So I am going with passwordless authentication. Enter the same passphrase again. Nothing. So your key is generated. So where is that location, guys?
Home EC2.
Exactly. So if you go here, so you have your keys over here, correct? So you have ID RSA and you have ID RSA pub. So this is your public and this is your private key. So this public key has to deploy to this particular database server and to this web server. Okay, so just take a duplicate session of this database server. Okay, and just take a duplicate session of this web server. Okay guys, so here where you need to deploy that one. Okay, so you guys know, right? So before deploying that, you need to create a file name called authorized key. Okay, with the same name you need to create in your database, and in same you need to create in your web server. So before going to do that, you need to create a directory also, that is called .ssh. Okay, before doing that one, guys, understanding my point?
Yeah.
Yes, Abhishek.
Okay, so log into your database. Okay, so your database could be anything. It could be a Ubuntu server, it could be your Linux server, AMI server, or any server you can use it. That doesn't matter, guys. Okay,
Mm.
fine. So anyways, I'm ending up the session here only. The reason is because tomorrow we'll see when we were executing the ad hoc commands, then I'll configure this database and your web server. Okay,
Mhm.
then we can deploy, or if you
Okay.
want I'll deploy now. Okay, okay, or what I'm going to do here is we can deploy now also. Okay, fine guys, so just do mkdir slash root. Okay, dot slash ssh. Okay, fine. Just create the same directory in your database server. What is that, guys? Dot
It is home directory, not root directory, right?
No, it's not fine. It's not a matter. Okay. See, it's .ssh should be there. It's not that it's deployed in your slash home slash EC2 user. So it could be same in your ultimate thing is your public key should be deployed under .ssh file, under .ssh directory, under authorized key. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
fine. It is already there, I think, or what? It is already there. You no need to create a directory also. Okay, you can see, correct?
Hmm.
.ssh is already there. I have not created anything, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what you need to
Yeah.
do is you just need to copy the public key. What public key is there, guys? So
IDRS है ना?
this public key. Okay.
अच्छा, PUB means public. Okay.
Okay. This is your public and this is your private key. So private key should be here only and public key should be deployed. Okay. So where you need to deploy the file name, you need to make it as a authorized key. Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is already there. Okay. Just remove this one and deploy this one. Okay. Fine, guys. Just log into the same server, do a pwd. Okay. cd dot ssh. Okay. Under this vim authorized key. Okay.
Hmm.
Insert.
Click.
Okay. Fine. So guys, this is the way. Okay. So this is your database and this is your web server. Now as a next thing, what you need to do is, now you have configured your SSH. How you can verify that you have configured your SSH, guys? That you are able to do. Okay. So what you need to do, SSH, and you need to log into this database, right? So database private IP, right?
Hmm.
Correct? Not public IP, right? Okay, did not resolve host name. The reason is we need to give the host name as well. Okay, that is fine. So under this controller, okay, what you need to do is go to this location /etc hosts Ansible. This is the main configuration file, guys. That's what I told yesterday also.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, so you can see host file is there. Just BIM hosts. Okay. Under this, just go to the end of the line by Shift G. Okay. Do a insert over here. I think it is read only permission. Okay. Just come out of here. Vi sudo. Okay. No, not vi sudo. Just do sudo hosts. Okay. Fine. Shift G. Okay. Now here what you need to do is you need to tag. That's what I said. So you need to make a class, right? Then only if suppose there are multiple instances of your database will be there, right? So what you are going to do is you are going to make those entire. So guys, what we need to do here is just go here, okay, and at the end of the line, as I said, you need to create a tag, okay. So how you can create a tag? Go to the end of the line, okay. Just make a bracket, square bracket, Inside that, just mention database. Okay, and just below that one, give the private IP of this database. What is that private IP, guys? So private IP, you can take it from here as well. Okay, so you can see this is your private IP.
Yeah.
Okay, go here, paste it here, come down, just mention another tag, web server. Just make sure, guys, whatever the tag name you are giving, okay, that should be correct, because while you are pinging the server, those are also some modules. Okay, and while you are copying something, so you can check. Okay, so it's
Mm.
giving success or not. Okay, so the private IP of your web server is 144, this one only, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Or you can take it from here as well. Okay, done.
We have to add the entries, right?
Sorry.
We add the entry in the controller.
Yes, that is called your inventory. That's what we have done
Mm.
just now. That is your
Mm.
inventory file. Okay, so we have
Mm.
made the entry in the inventory. Okay,
Mm.
so this becomes a phrase, guys. We have made an entry in the inventory. Okay,
Mm.
so that's fine. So in the inventory, you have made the entry for the database and your web server. Okay, and your
Right.
agent is also. And second thing, SSH wise, we have already deployed the private key and your public key, right? That's what we have done. So private key always should be with the controller and public key should be with the agent, guys. So now how we can verify, okay, that this particular web server or database server is communicating or not? Okay, so in Ansible, every command starts with Ansible only. Okay, like in Git, every command starts with Git. Like in Docker, every command starts with Docker. Okay, so same way in
Mm.
Ansible, every command starts with Ansible only. Okay, so if you want to check that this database is connecting or not, okay, just do Ansible. Okay, hyphen m is nothing but this is the module which we are going to use here. So module is your action. Okay, and then ping. Okay, so ping is your module. So which one you want to ping? You want to ping to your database.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now guys, you can see something here.
Yeah.
Tell me what we are getting.
नहीं जान तो क्या करता हूँ
Correct?
Just
Guys, what we are getting?
pinging.
We are getting
क्या हुआ
Pinging.
ping pong. Correct?
Yeah.
That is a success, right?
Yes.
Correct? That is a success.
खाना
Means
तो चल
so yeah. So that is a success. The reason is so here ping pong is nothing but it's a request and response. So ping means you are pinging for a request, and pong means you are getting a response from your database server. Understanding my point, guys?
Okay.
Clear?
Clear.
Okay. Now one more thing I want to show you here. Okay.
So Abhishek, I have a doubt here.
1 second, Manoranjan.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, not an issue. Okay, that is another thing. Yeah, now ask.
As you told there, we have to do two things. One is ID, RSA, public and private. The
Correct.
public key we have assigned to database server as well as web server. Whatever the private, I am not able to understand. So
See,
you did
that
not
is
did anything, or you're going to do?
no, we haven't done anything. We no need to do. That's what the
Okay.
concept. If you are in SSH working principle, you know, right?
That
How?
authorization key.
Yes, authorization. If you want to do the communication between one Linux server to other Linux server, how we can do it? So for that we need to deploy that public and private, public key to all its you can say servers or agents. Okay,
Mhm.
so the
Yeah,
private key from where you are communicating to all the agents or all the Linux server. Okay, so that
mhm.
public key has to deploy to across all those Linux server. Then only you are going to communicate or authenticate with those servers.
That is through public key, right?
That is through public key only.
And I am just asking, what is the use of private key here?
Private key is for that particular server. Okay, that,
Okay.
see,
Yeah,
private key, that is for that server, because that public key you are publishing to all those instances.
got it, got it.
Understand? Samba,
Yeah.
you clear?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, Manoranjan, there is a session for this one in YouTube. You can visit Linux. I have that one. Okay, where I
Mhm.
have done that remote session. I've explained in depth. Okay, how
Okay.
this authorization works in Linux.
Okay,
So
okay.
there you can means see that how this if you are communicating to one Linux server to other Linux server, why we need this public and private. See, what will happen is, if suppose if you want to do SSH from one server to other server, so it will
Mhm.
ask you whether you want to add this host to known host, right?
Yeah.
First question it's asked. That's what is asked here, right? Whether you want to add this one to your known host or not, or you want to continue. Correct? So I said yes. So from the very next time, it's not going to ask me, because I have mentioned while generating the SSH keygen, that public key, that keygen, that key. What is that? This key was there. I've generated. That is the algorithm, right?
Yeah.
So while generating that, I have given passwordless authentication. So it's not
Yes.
asking me any password. If so, next time if you want to log into the any other agents from this controller, or this is also a Linux server, from one Linux server to other Linux server. So it's not going to ask you for the password. So
Yeah.
here in Ansible, if you that is one configuration, and other configuration you need to create the inventory that we have done. If you want to see that it's working correctly or not, so for that what we need to do is we just need to ping, right? So if you are getting this response, means your
Ping pong
connection
means
is
it's working fine.
yes, here, correct,
Connection established.
established, correct, successfully. Okay, what next we need to do is, guys, same thing you can do. Okay, so use that instead of database, we can use web server,
Yeah.
or you can use IP also. But if you have multiple IPs, if you can create multiple web server, I can show you that also. Okay, so so you can do it in a single shot. Okay,
Mm.
so if you put his, yes, first time it will ask you, it's giving you ping pong, it's giving you, okay, success,
Yeah.
correct,
Correct.
means it's responding. Okay, guys.
Mm.
So guys, I'm ending up the session here only.
Okay.